There we go. Yay. Okay, so anyway, welcome everybody and welcome to Tarot Time. If this is your first time here on the Medium channel, we bring you the spirituality behind the message. And tarot wisdom is part of that spirituality. So we do that on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. And of course, it's always available as a video. So I'm just going to say quick hellos and then we're going to get right into this. So hi, Jared. Hi, Michael. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Chris. Hi, Laura. Hi, Wendy. And hello to everybody else who's here or who's going to come in later as a video. So we've had a really action-packed week. And you may notice, those of you that are regulars, that I have a different background today. And the reason for that is that my Wi-Fi crashed in my house. Actually, my power went out last night. And we've had some amazing thunderstorms over the last couple of weeks here in the Catskill Mountains of New York. And in fact, I was in my office. That's where I am now. I'm in my office in Kingston, New York. So I'm not in the mountains right now. And three ladies came in. They were all cousins, and a particular spirit was coming through. And during that whole reading, there's just like lightning bolts going back and forth. It was a really, really clear reading. And the spirit contact gave me his name and 2 birthdays and a lot of really specific stuff. So the weather is part of consciousness. We're all connected to consciousness. We're all connected to soul. And we're in these bodies for a microsecond of our soul's resonance. So while we're here in our bodies, we process things through our 5 senses, through our egos, and so forth and so on. But we're really soul and spirit, and that's what we do here. We learn how to awaken, and a lot of you are already awakened or awakening. And tarot is a good tool for that also as well. So I see a few more people have come on, so that's awesome. Good morning, Elizabeth and Colleen, not Eileen. I don't have my glasses with me. And it's been a very energetically, it's been a very active week. And for those of you that were here with me last time, I picked an animal card from the medicine cards last time. Today I actually bought Stephen Farmer's messages from your spirit guide animals. The last time we got the frog, and I didn't even know at the time that maybe that meant that it was just going to keep pouring and pouring and pouring, because that's basically what it's been doing. And a couple of other interesting things came up, and there's been a lot of angst in the collective consciousness, and I think last time I was picking up on that. And it really started to come in on Monday and Tuesday, and it's just kind of been a new round of anxiety, attacks, divisions. A lot of it centered around the vaccine programs and handling the virus and everything. The thing is that what we want to do is stay in our power, stay in our lane. And anytime we find ourselves being triggered by the environment, step back and observe your reactions. Don't be those reactions. Your soul and spirit, you're not your ego. You have an ego, and your reactions are probably based on the egoic function to survive. And I explain this a lot in a lot of my other videos, that there are human emotions, a lot of them are survival instincts. So when we start to step back and observe ourselves being triggered rather than being the person being triggered, that's when we can start to observe the programs rather than be the programs. And through the power of repetition, that's how you start to clear the programs and how you start to empower or lift your vibration to a higher level, which is what we're really called on to do during this time of a lot of shift and a lot of change. So you're going to find, I think, that there's going to be a lot of energetic or psychic pressure or stuff like that from the powers that be that still want to maintain control of things. And without getting into detail, I'm not big on the conspiracy theories. I want facts and proof before I spout anything like that. But that said, I think what's happening is that people can sense that there's something wrong, but they don't know what it is. And and there's a lot of reaction that way. And my friend Sharita Starr, who's an amazing astrologer and numerologist, she says this all the time: stay in your lane. And every time I sway out of my lane, I get a little reminder, a little like bump in the head. It's like, don't even bother. Just stay in your lane, stay in your trajectory. Everything is moving forward. Everything's working out. So the thing is that there's going to be a lot of shifting energies in 2021 into 2022, but it is a shift in consciousness. It is an awakening. So I just wanted to mention that because I've just felt a lot of that, last week, but especially this week. I felt a lot of that energy and a lot of that pressure to to basically not grow or not evolve. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but anyways, back to the tarot. Because there's been so much rain and such a blessing of water, I decided to talk about the cups today. And tarot is an ancient tool of wisdom. It's a meditation tool. It became a divination tool more in modern times, but back in the day, and I'm talking about maybe in Arthur Waite's time in the 1800s, there was some use in divination and even magic for that matter, but it was mainly a meditation tool and a way to link into the, I hate to use the word archetypes, but I can't think of another word, but the archetypes of existence, because what Carl Jung calls archetypes and what's and how that term is I can't even talk today, colloquially used, are actually slightly different things, but they do represent different energies, we'll say, or different possibilities in a human existence. So the cups are about the emotions and the emotional side of life. Emotions, energy, emotion are really of the body, but they're of energy. And what we feel dictates how we behave. And a lot of the programming attacks us on an emotional level. That's what I was saying about getting triggered or triggering before, and how we have to learn not to be ruled by emotions, but to understand that we have emotions and we're not our emotions. And once you understand that, then they become an empowerment tool, and you can utilize your emotions to create your reality, or co-create your reality with spirit or God. And that's basically what the cups are about. When they come up in reading, sometimes they're about love, and they translate to the hearts in playing cards. So the playing cards were actually patterned after tarot cards, and the four suits are the four suits of the tarot. So cups are hearts, wands are, what are wands? Clubs, I think. And pentacles are diamonds, and swords are spades. And the major arcana, like cards like, say, I'm going to see if I can find a major arcana card quickly, like the Wheel of Fortune. I like this one. So cards like the Wheel of Fortune, the major arcana, all got included into the Joker, which is the Fool. So it's the Fool's journey. So that's what I wanted to say about tarot. And I feel like now it's an important message to just kind of step back and be present and breathe. And July is self-designated as Breath Awareness Month. And actually August is going to be Psychic Development Month. And that's really more pertinent to my membership program, which is the Spirit Mind Family. And today at 5 o'clock, we're actually going to do a class on how to connect with breath and how to move chi or energy through your body, through understanding and cultivating different forms of breath work, and how to actually create like a daily breath routine. The way we breathe goes a long way in how we feel and our health also. Most people do not breathe correctly. Most people have a lot of emotional and physical and psychological challenges. Cultivating proper breath work will help to clear and heal that, and will help to energize yourself. And I've been through my breath and through my practice. I'll tell you one thing, because it comes up in my mind, that anybody can do it, is one time I fractured my wrist snowboarding up in Hunter Mountain years and years ago. And it was an angular fracture, a clean fracture all the way through. Didn't need to be set, didn't need any pins or anything like that. But it was a very bad break. And so every day I would utilize my breath. I would send energy to my wrist. And then two or 3 weeks later, I went to the orthopedist back, and he kind of looked at the x-ray, and he looked like he was a little bit disturbed, I have to say. And then he showed me the x-ray, and he said, with a fracture, usually the bones fuse, but in your case, your whole section of bone dissolved and you're growing a new bone in its place. And then he went on to say that, well, that can happen with compound fractures or really bad fractures, but they'd never seen that before. And I took that as a validation that the energy work that I was doing was healing my wrists in a better way. And then I got a further validation 2 weeks after the cast was off, when he told me that and he said, I can even hear his words, that frankly, you have more movement in your wrist now than I thought you'd ever have in your lifetime. I mean, it was an angular fracture, so it's clean, but it's on an angle. And he said, you can go to physical therapy, but you don't need it. And I never went to physical therapy. And I have full movement on this wrist. No pain, no stress, nothing. So why am I saying this? Not to boost my ego or boost my ratings or anything like that, to tell you that you have the ability to do the exact same thing, that our minds are amazing and our intention and energy is amazing. And people every day are healing themselves from things like cancer and MS and stuff like that as well. And a big part of that is cultivating your energy, but also cultivating your emotions. So in this course, I'm gonna show you different ways you can move energy through the body with your breath work to create different effects in your life. And that's only at the masterminds level. The Spirit Mind family is a paid membership. You can get more information by going to patreon.com/Spirit Mind family. There's 3 different levels, and you get exclusive content. And for the people that are part of the family already, thank you. And thank you, everybody. This week, I just got so many amazing comments, and I thank you all. I love you all. So I just wanted to share that appreciation with you as well. Thank you, Gavin. Excellent advice. So anyway, shout outs for the week. Of course, Armand Diaz and Integral Astrology always gets a shout out. And no, I don't get paid for this, by the way, but he does a weekly astrological forecast that's very detailed and very on point. And my favorite tarot reader on YouTube, Amy from Elevated Intuition, Spirituality and Tarot, does a more personalized and detailed for you tarot forecast. What I do is more of like a general for the collective, what's going on in society, and how us as a collective that are joining me here presently, and also that'll be joining me as a video later, how we can best navigate the week, navigate this awakening, all the shifts of energy and everything that's going on. So on that note, what I like to do is just pull a meditation card for you guys. And this would be what I'm asking Spirit to work with me and work with the tarot. And this will be for us, for our collective. And it's funny, I'm seeing in my mind as I'm doing this, I'm seeing baseballs, and I'm seeing the number 714, which was Babe Ruth's magic number until Hank Aaron beat that as well. I think it's a Spirit's way of saying, we're all going to be hitting home runs. So whatever you're doing, whatever your goals and dreams are, don't surrender, don't give up on those at this time, basically, as well. So anyway, we're back to the normal. The last 2 weeks we got minor arcana. I've been doing tarot time almost a year. I'd say 3/4 of the time I get a major arcana card for our meditation card. And the Hermit card is relevant in terms of, what's the number? I can't remember. Number 9, right? So 9 is about completions, but it's also about wisdom, and it's also about the sign Virgo. And the figure is like an old figure that's kind of on the mountaintop, so that can represent our higher self, or the part of us that is a spiritual teacher. We're all spiritual teachers in our own right, and he's shining the lantern. So the way that I recommend to meditate is either if you have your own deck, or if you want to take a mental snapshot of this from the Hanson Roberts deck. When you get relaxed, you stop your thinking and you become aware of your breath. And as soon as you do that, your consciousness automatically raises as well. And very often when that happens, that's something of the we'll say of the egoic mind, or whatever, of actually more accurately of conditioning and programming, will often try to pull you out of that. Either some thought will come up, or you'll get anxiety, or you'll get some reaction in the body. That's why I always say, and this is not me, this is what Dr. Joe Dispenza says all the time, and this is what the Buddha said also. So there's some great spiritual teachers that are saying the same thing, that when you're able to not react but to observe, that's when you start to pull away from the program. So it's interesting, I was talking about that, and this card came up because it really is about that divine wisdom. So when you step into the card, what you want to do is, it's almost like stepping in a doorway, and you start to see the whole panoramic view, and see, investigate, and feel what's around you, and open up all your psychic senses, your ability to psychically see, clairvoyance. We're all psychic. We can all do this. Your psychic ears, your ability to feel psychically, to smell and taste even, and just be part of the scene. But I feel like they're saying this is a way to get to one of your ascended guides, one of the ascended masters that works with you. And as I'm talking about it, my recommendation is actually, as you meditate, see yourself going up the mountain, and actually interacting with this figure, and see what the view looks like around you. And I feel like Spirit's saying, if you do this properly, you're going to get a message about what your true life calling is, or if you understand what your life calling is, you'll get a message about what the next step is, or what adjustments or modifications that you have to make. We are numerologically in a universal 5-year. 5 is about change. 5 is about adaptation. But 5 is also about freedom. And we are really struggling as a collective with our freedom right now, and our freedom issues. The more that you can be present and in more of a higher vibration in a meditative state, the more you're going to be able to attain personal freedom. And what I like to do, and of course I'm not perfect, I'm still a student, even though I'm a teacher also. We're all students, but what I like to do is really just try to step out and observe what's going on. So anyways, so that's the message from the Hermit card. So the next step is to pull 3 cards as a little bit of a, we'll say, a forecast, or a little bit of a a message about what's going on in the world and everything. The Tower card's been coming up a lot lately, and the Tower is falling. And every now and then things have to fall apart so that things can be rebuilt on a firmer foundation. So we're kind of still in the fall right now, not the autumn, but the fall of the empire, so to speak, the fall of the Tower. And that's been coming up a lot lately, in my personal readings, in my tarot time, and for a lot of my clients also. And it can mean a lot of different things. So anyways, very good. So I will ask Spirit to guide me to the right cards today. This one, they're saying. This one. I don't overthink it. This one, okay. Sometimes I even catch my conscious brain trying to intercede on the spiritual exercise. Major. Okay, 1 minor, 2 majors. Here's what we have for the week. So the Fool card, when the Fool card comes up, there's a new journey. That's the middle card. That's the main card. It's a new journey, basically. And here on StreamYard, everything's like flipped in reverse. So it's like opposite to me. But this is number one. I hope it's clear to you that this is the first, second, and third. The interesting thing is, because it's just popped up in my mind, and maybe it's a message for everybody, is that in this culture, we read left to right. And a lot of times when we communicate with spirit or work with spirit, we work with energy. So it's not always like spirit will it's here to teach us to grow. So they're not here to give us the answers. They're more here to guide us to finding our own answers and finding our own truths. I need more water. So the Fool card is the beginning of a journey, and you notice he has like a flower. I don't know if you can see the dog here. Like the dog is a helper. This is what the Fool needs. He's kind of looking at the heavens and walking over the precipice, basically. And it's surrounded by a lot of like we'll say water elements, even though the Empress card is technically the planet Venus, which it is an emotional energy and everything like that as well. But I feel like so I'm going to look at the cards too, because that's how sometimes I'll get messages. I feel like I've already been speaking on the meaning of this already as well. And it just feels like a lot of us are going to be on a journey now of a journey where we're actually pulling out of or pulling away from some of the things that were familiar to us. That can include people, that could even include families, familiar atmospheres and stuff like that. So really kind of being called upon. And I find that a lot of the times the messages are really for me also, but they're for us as a collective. And then we're on like a new path and a new journey. So I feel like in this group, a lot of people are experiencing some awakening at this time as well. Getting there. Oh, so Amy's on. We gave you a shout out earlier, in case you weren't here. So that's Amy, the tarot reader that I adore. So thank you for joining us as well. All right, so let me see what else. A lot of this, because I'm just seeing, the King of Cups is kind of like letting go. There's a lot of like letting go. It's just what I've been saying since I started this live stream today. That's where we're at right now. There's a lot going on in society that's trying to pull people down. There's a lot of pressure against evolution and awakening. There's a lot of fear programming. Just turn the news on if you dare. I'm going to say as well. But you're immortal, your spirit. This lifetime is just a blink of the eye. It's like when you're done, it's like throwing off a pair of clothes, basically, and going back into the timeless reality of spirit or soul energy. And really, that's the Fool. My first teacher, she's in spirit, but her name is Amberella, and I met her in Oklahoma City. Because long story how I ended up there. But I met her. She's my first tarot teacher, and she would tell me the Fool card represents spirit before manifestation. And that always stuck with me. And I never read that in the book, but that's what she said. Spirit before manifestation as well. Yes, Cody, I'm excited also. The tower has to fall so that we can rebuild on a stronger foundation. Absolutely. And I feel like for those of you that don't get out into nature a lot, to do that. And nature will talk to you. The King of Cups, and the Empress. These are, and again, I'm taking this more symbolically than say book meanings of the tarot. These can represent rulers also, like a king and an empress are rulers, right? And they're both reversed. And even though we didn't get the Tower card today, that's been a very familiar theme. And my sense is that Again, stay present, stay in your power. If you find things going on in your environment that trigger you, go back to presence, be the observer. I say that a lot because it resonates so much with me, and it's really helped me so much in my spiritual journey. And and what happens, just as a heads up, is that when you do that, you start to, we'll just say that things that have been suppressed in the subconscious start to rise to the surface, and you come face to face with your shadows, and people get scared, and then they stop doing their work because they get anxiety or depression, or they manifest things in their outer environment that are troubling and challenging. That's what the Tower card does. It's not an easy process. Spiritual growth, spirituality is not meant to be comfortable. We have to shed a lot of layers of energy from this lifetime and other lifetimes. We are not separated from other people. Yes, we're separated physically, but we're not separated at the heart level or at the soul level. And what that means is that basically what affects the other person affects us also. We cannot help that. I mean, we can do our psychic shielding or whatever, but we're still connected to everybody. We're still part of a collective consciousness. However, we have the ability to come into our center and come into our power, and rather to be influenced by the collective, we can start to become influencers of the collective. And the more people that do that, the more people that awaken to their power and their truth and start to do that, the more things are going to shift. And once things shift, and it does not have to be 50%. And I forget the details of the 100th monkey experiment. Some of you may know the details better, but it definitely wasn't 50% of the monkeys learning how. I think it was opening the coconuts in a different way. I think it was only a few. I think the tipping point comes at only a few percent of people, not half the people. But really interesting thing is, and I got a taste of, then that's what I was alluding to earlier, like a lot of like negativity being directed towards me and my work and everything. And that came about because we did a paid ad on Facebook about the Spirit Mind family, and apparently the algorithm didn't read the tags and it got to the wrong people. And I had literally like 30 or 40 people saying, psychics are what were they saying? They're charlatans, they're frauds, this, that, and the other thing. Just a lot of attacks or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, this is just spiritually reminding me, how much people don't understand, how people are so locked into their own stories. They don't understand that we're all intuitive. We all have psychic abilities. So anyways, good messages there. So I bought my Steve Farmer messages or spirit animals deck with me. Oh, is there another message here? I feel like they're just saying, just practice kindness and love, and everything's going to be okay. At the end of the day, these can all be romantic cards in a tarot reading as well. So I don't want to miss that part as well. That really loving ourselves, like Wayne Dyer said, you're never alone if you're your own best friend. And I know when the pandemic began and people were a little concerned about me because I live kind of out there, surrounded by woods and alone and everything, and we're in lockdown. And people are like, are you okay, Adam? Are you okay, Adam? I answer this and say, are you kidding me? I've been training my whole life for this. I am fine. And so if you are your own best friend, you're never alone. And I am my own best friend. And you have to love yourself. Otherwise, who's going to love you? So I think these are the messages as well, that this is the time to really go into the heart chakra and the heart center. When your heart opens, that was when you start to access the brain. As Dr. JD says, Dr. Dispenza says, that when you access the heart, then you can start to create heart and brain coherency. And then you can start to open your crown chakra and have that experience of infinity, or that experience of the quantum field, as he calls it as well. So we're on a journey, everybody. Do a lot of meditation this week. Take really, really good care of yourselves. Love yourself. That, to me, feels like the message of the week. So in any regards, put these down. And I have a different animal deck this time. As much as I love the medicine cards, I decided to go with a different deck today. And I think this is going to start to be part of tarot time, because I just got such a great message from Frog Energy last time as well. And a lot of you come in all the time as well. So the more thank you, Cody. I agree, absolutely. Not coming together part, yeah. Thank you, Robin. Yes. Okay, so the card they got, the honeybee. Wow, it's interesting because what do bees do? They exist in community and cooperate, right? No bees, no food, right? Also, so let me see what the message here is. Let compassion and forgiveness be your top priority in the situation. So, everybody hear that? Again, go back into heart, go back into presence. When as soon as you do that, you vibrate at a different frequency. I know I'm being a little bit repetitive, but it's an important point. When that happens, the filters between conscious and subconscious start to soften. We'll put it that way. Things start to rise to the surface. I've been, not to bore you, but the last year and a half has all been about doing the shadow work that I've been avoiding like my whole life. I want to say as well, I had my awakening in 19, so it took me basically 40 years to realize no, you're not going to evolve to the next level until you clear all that crap. So it's been a great year and a half, but it's been a tough year and a half. And the thing is, and again, I like to share my stories because they're your stories, they're our stories. The thing is, once you lose the fear of discomfort, once you lose the fear of death, let's get right to the chase. Once you lose the fear of death and die, you lose the fear of living. Once you lose the fear of discomfort and pain, because that's part of the human experience, as soul, it's not a negative thing. It just is. When you reach a soul level, when you reach pure presence and consciousness, there's no, those types of judgments don't exist. There's only assessments of energy, but there's no judgment. So discomfort's a good thing. In my Power Attunements program, the fifth step, the fifth treasure, is the gift of challenge, and it teaches people how to process and work through their challenges. Did I know at the time in 2013 when I made up the program, this was going to be my program to heal myself? No, I thought it was for other people, but that's what happened, right? So honeybee to me is about community, but it's also about love and sharing. So I wanted to pull an angel card, and I'll let you guys go. This Friday on the full moon, on the Capricorn full moon, I'm going to be doing a live transmission here on the Medium channel, where I allow my vehicle to open and for spirit to work through me. And as I guide and lead the meditation, we join in consciousness. So as my guides work with me, they work with you also. And it can be very powerful. And I've had reactions from people that fell asleep through the whole thing, to people that had a full-on crown chakra opening or origami experience. So it's all about what we're ready for, I guess. Anyways, pick your card. This is the card I want to pick. Opal. So this is Doreen Virtue's Messengers of the Angels. So very violet. Violet's very, very soothing. It's very higher vibrational. It's very much about connecting with divine energy. Oh, interesting. But the message here is, your children on earth and in heaven are happy and well cared for by God and the angels. So if anybody's concerned about their kids, that might be a direct message for you. I just feel like it's more about the theme about loving and being open to things like love and compassion and stuff like that. I just want to see if they can actually give me a message. I feel like they're just saying it's just our time. You know, this is really that the month of August. For some reason, they're keying me in on August 22nd. I don't know why. If there's some celestial event, I don't know. But I feel like for whatever reason, they're saying that date's coming up as well. And I feel like they're also saying to loosen the restraint, because I'm getting an image of unbuckling seatbelts and allowing, oh, I get it. To work with your lower chakras also, especially the sacral chakra, because that's the emotional and creative chakra. And thank you. And by doing that and building strong foundations, you can't really open up to the higher levels of spirit if you're not grounded and rooted in the earth. The reason being is that it's not your time to leave your body yet. So you're bringing spirit to the earthly experience, not leaving the earthly experience to go to spirit. That happens when you die. Nobody's dying, at least to my knowledge. Well, actually, what did the song say? 44,000 men and women every day from Don't Fear the Reaper or die every day. But you get the gist of that, basically. So really work with the sacral, with the root, also the solar plexus. In Kundalini Yoga, that's called the lower triangle. Build your roots strong. When your roots are deep, you sway in the storm, but you don't break. We had a lot of trees down from the storms last night. I lost power for about 6 or 8 hours. But I looked around, the lion's share of those trees that fell were white pine trees. They had very shallow root systems. The oaks and the maples, they were fine. Yeah, they may have lost branches, but they didn't fall, they didn't break. Build your roots strong. That's what the angels are trying to tell us this morning. All right, it's 20 of. I ran a little bit over. I thank you, everybody, for joining me, and thank you again for all the wonderful comments. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Peace and be well. And again, if I don't go to the beach on Tuesday, because those plans are up in the air still, I may come on in the morning to do a little bit of a breath exercise with you here on YouTube as well. And like I said, we have the master classes tonight. So if you want to check out the Spirit Mind family, I'll link it in the comments. It's in the description. If you're in that, but you're on a lower tier, and you want to upgrade to the Master's Mind tier, only $3 a month, $33 a month, and you get a lot with that. So I'm very proud to be able to offer that. It's a way that I can have an inner core group now, and we've had quite a bit of interest already. So thank you, everybody. Lots of love, and thank you, Susan and Jennifer and Laura and Colleen and Wendy, Mary Lou and Judy and Cody and Amy and everybody else that took time out of your Sunday morning to join us. And I love you and appreciate you more than you know. So thank you again. Be well.